going to keep you super long tonight. We have felt such a sweet and wonderful spirit.
Amen.
But I would ask you tonight, in your walk with God, you know, there are many motives today that operate in the world. But I would ask you tonight, as we enter into the house of God, what are you asking out of God for life? What is, you know, we used to have, when I was in school, we would have a day that they would ask, and they'd say, what do you want to do? What kind of career do you want to have in life? You know, and it's always amazed me as I've seen people through the years. I would dare say to most of you that have worked a majority of your life, you've not always worked the job that you actually thought you would be working.
That's right.
You've had to work jobs that it actually each day took everything you had to get up and go in.
That's right. Amen.
You know what? I am sure there's jobs that you just enjoy going in for. Then there was jobs that it took such an internal, I gotta go.
That's right.
But in life, we live in a society and a generation that it just, if it doesn't feel right or if it doesn't feel good, then they're looking for something new. They're looking for something to bring excitement. You know, I thought about last summer, or excuse me, I guess it was this summer. We had a young man in Ohio that got killed on an amusement ride. And the reason I'm thinking of it was in the media that they let off the operator. He's not being indicted for anything, the gentleman that was operating. But I told my wife at the time, I said, now wait a minute. This young man bears a portion of responsibility because he wanted this ride to scare him. He wanted this ride to draw an adrenaline up in him. If it would, I mean, if he didn't, he would have got on the teacups. You know, he'd been sitting there going around on his little teacup. But no, Sister Barb, he wanted something that was going to take him, at least mentally, to the edge of danger. And I'm here to tell somebody, if you want to live on the edge of danger, sometime, maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, but you will find yourself reaping the rewards of that danger.
That's right. You will.
Oh, they should have known that. Well, no. When you take something to the extreme, there's always the possibilities of failure.
That's right. Amen.
And I thought about, I'm going to tell you this little story about a farmer. This farmer had an incredibly powerful donkey, but he was stubborn. He was stubborn. He was capable of pulling that wagon just loaded to the hilt, but he was stubborn. Well, this farmer discovered this donkey loved carrots. And so this farmer got a pole about a foot beyond the donkey's reach. And he put a carrot dangling on this pole. And this donkey would pull his heart out because it wanted that carrot. But that carrot always remained just out of reach. Close enough to entice, far enough to not satisfy. That is Satan's tool that he uses against us. He brings that joy or that peace or that longing that we have, and he dangles it just close enough that we almost get it.
That is right.
But yet it's far enough that it never satisfies. I'm here to tell somebody today, there's only one thing that satisfies, and that is J-E-S-U-S.
Yes,
And when you let the gift of that Jesus move into our life, it will make the difference. You know, Jesus doesn't do that. He doesn't. We read in just a few minutes ago in Romans, I am persuaded that what he promised, he doesn't give me empty promises. He doesn't tell me tomorrow he will do it. But what he promises is, he will fulfill it. He's capable and will also perform.
Yes,
Please stand with me, if you will, please, as we go to the Word of God. Excuse me. Mark 5:25. And a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years. Verse 26. And had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had. There was nothing better, but rather grew worse. You may be seated. So I begin to prepare tonight, I begin to think about this poor precious lady. My friends, this lady was in a world of hurt. She knew that life was fleeting from her body.
That's right.
And unfortunately, we live in a culture today that medicine offers us such great promises, and sadly, so often fails to deliver.
Amen. That's right.
I know when we met my surgeon 2 weeks ago, I said, Doctor, you got anything that'll help me? They gave me this pain medicine, they gave me this pain medicine. Can you give me something that'll work? He said, Dan, I'll give you something that'll work. And Brother Mark had went on the internet for me after 2 days. It created such an anxiety in my spirit. My body was nauseated for 2 days, and that was from a half a pill. Hey, Doc, I thought you promised you were going to hell. But what you did, Doc, oh yeah, my hip stopped hurting for about 4 or 5 hours, but the rest of me started. I felt for this woman because they dangled out a little bit of hope. And when we reach for it and finally get a hold of it, only to discover we're left worse off.
That's right.
And we're without where we started.
That's right.
For 12 years, she would run here and there and say, hey, we got a new cure, a new process. Okay, I'll try it. We live in a world today that's that desperate.
Yes, we do.
Amen.
Now you think about a minute, the depth of desperation that men and women today will go to escape this world.
Yeah. Amen.
Amen.
They will put battery acid. They will put rat poison into their veins, hoping for a moment to escape, only to find themselves with greater problems.
That's right. Amen.
Isn't that the way sin is? How many men has lusted after that neighbor and finally was able to hook up, only to find out it destroyed their life as they knew it?
Yes,
Only to be filled with a life of remorse and regret about the family that was destroyed. For a moment that offered, we're going to satisfy what you're missing in your marriage. It doesn't.
Nope. Amen.
It will fulfill the lust that we crave for a moment, but it won't satisfy.
That's right.
She spent all that she had. You know, I truly believe that sometimes folks have to hit rock bottom before they can begin to look up.
That's right. Amen.
Isn't that Sister Donna the story of the prodigal son? When he'd spent everything he had, they wouldn't even let him feed with the pigs. Brother Mark, at that moment, there was no lower. Let me tell you, for a Hebrew to feed with the swine, there was nothing more defiled than a pig.
Right.
Studied up in the sundry laws. That was one of the no-nos. And yet, Brother Cliff, he got to that place He was willing to even feed with the pigs that he wouldn't offer him. The pigs wouldn't even eat with him. And you know what? At that moment, he looked up and said, what am I doing here? My Father has bread and more than enough. His servants have it better than I do right now. See, this is what the world offers us. This young man was in a comfortable home with a loving father. I believe he had great environment because as committed and loving as his father was, I don't believe he was abusive. I don't believe he drove him away.
Amen.
But I believe that carrot was just dangled outside that fence post. If you'll just chase me.
Yeah.
See, I found myself at one point in my life in 1978. I was chasing that carrot. I chased it all the way to Houston, Texas. I thought, man, if I could just move to Texas, I wouldn't feel conviction anymore. My mama wouldn't know if I went to church or not. And I could just have my life and be good in my life. Raise my 2 kids, have my loving wife with me, and everything will be great. But you know what I found out? I'm going to amaze you a minute. That God is even in Texas.
Yeah, good.
And you know what? Houston, Texas, when we moved there, was growing at the rate of 4,000 people per month. And at that rate, God still found me.
That's right.
I couldn't hide. See, I thought there was a carrot that said, if you just go there, you can escape the call of God. See, Jonah found it was in the belly of a well. Because he offered that carrot. If you just get on this ship, you can run from God. Let me tell somebody, I'm going to save you some money, some moving expenses, some disguise. You don't invite in disguises. Because however you try, God will find you.
That's right. Yeah.
However far you go, God will still be there waiting on you to show up.
Yes,
sir.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to know, by going to Texas, it was so funny. My father-in-law was so angry with me. I'd come home on Thanksgiving because the job I had had, we had 4 days for Thanksgiving, so I flew home and we drove all the furniture, my wife and children, back to Texas in the apartment that I had had. And you know what? My father-in-law drove a U-Haul with me, or a trailer with me, and we actually made it home back to Indiana before he did. I was in Texas a month. You know what? The carrot that Satan offered, it didn't satisfy him. God still convicted my heart.
Yes.
And you know what? My wife will tell you, we would drive 20 and 30 miles to try to find an apostolic church. And I thought, man, I'm going home. That's only across town. But see, I was trying to go for that carrot. That, man, if I could just get away, everything will be great. I want you to know, once you have tasted of the Lord, there is nothing that will ever satisfy again. Once He's moved in your life, let you feel His anointing. There is no depth of sin that will compare. And when you walk away, you're going to be the worst.
Yes.
What I love about it is, even in Texas, God didn't abandon me.
Amen.
Right.
Amen. But let me realize that carrot I was never going to reach because I'd already had it. See, that's the thing we don't understand. You know, it's so amazing to me. We have it so great with God, and yet we're still trying to chase Satan's carrot.
Mm-hmm.
This woman, 12 years, ran here and there and everywhere. If you'll only come here, I can fix what you got. And you know what happened? When her money ran out, what happened? So did the hope.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way Satan is. When he's used you up, he withdraws the carrot.
That's right.
He just leaves you wretched, destroyed, and undone.
Yes, amen.
Amen?
Hallelujah.
If you'll turn with me a moment I want to tell you something about the Lord, man. It's found in Isaiah chapter 55 and 1. Oh, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters. And he that hath no money, come ye and buy, and eat. Yea, come and buy wine and milk without money and without price. I thought about, see, Satan, every time we follow him, it costs us.
Amen.
Yes.
To fulfill the lust of Satan, it costs us something. For that neighbor that you lust after, it's going to cost you. For that prized object, I brought you about Achan. It's always amazed me every time I read about that story. Here Achan stole that sliver, that wedge of gold, those two garments, and what did he do with it? He buried them. They were of no value. That's what sin does to us today. It gives us nothing in return. Satan has come to steal, kill, and destroy. There's nothing about Satan that is a plus.
Come on.
That's right.
All it is take. You know, it amazes me. God offers everything for free.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
All he asks, you know, people say, but Pastor, if I serve God, it's going to cost me. And I've often thought, what is serving God truly going to cost us?
Come on now.
People say, well, I need to give up alcohol. How many lives has alcohol destroyed?
Yes.
What benefit has alcohol truly proven to anybody's life?
Amen.
Causes DUI, causes indebtedness. When people will go out and drink, they'll waste all their money. They can't pay their bills now, so they'll go out and get drunk.
Man.
Now they have less to pay their bills with. Drugs, oh yeah, that's a real escape, ain't it?
Uh-huh.
Have you noticed how many celebrities we are seeing die in their 50s and 60s?
Amen.
You look at how they live during their time of being a celebrity. Abusing alcohol and drugs. What has it done when they get 60, 65? Their body is shot.
Right.
Amen.
Yes, amen.
Oh, Tom Petty made some great music, but he threw some great parties too.
That's right.
That's why at 60 years old, his body was spent.
That's right.
Had accrued millions and millions of dollars. Thousands, millions in fans. What did it serve him? What a party he had. But it cost him maybe 20, 30 years of his life.
That's right.
It cost him spending the golden years with his grandkids.
Right.
Because he made that statement in the concert before he died. Said, I'm going off the road. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with my family. 6 days later, he's standing before God, giving an answer for that life. He chased that carrot. He thought, I've got it now. I've had my rock and roll life. I've got my millions, and I've got it all.
Right.
And you know what God said? Thou fool. Thy soul is required this night.
Yes, amen.
And I thought about all the people that now will be fighting over the money. Michael Jackson worth somewhere between $500 million and $1 billion.
Yeah.
They are still eating up millions of dollars a day fighting over his money. What did it get him? Never Land. He had his own zoo, his own amusement park. He had everything. What did he get him? Nothing.
Nothing.
Never satisfied. He had fame. Do you know he was so famous? He couldn't go out in public without being mobbed. He was secluded to his house. Well, that was really Great. Secluded to his mansion
That's right.
because his fame cost him his freedom. But I got it! No, he got you.
That's
Jesus said, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters. If you're thirsty, come. Jesus will satisfy. You know, I liken the Spirit to a soda and a water. Every one of you know I love my Cone Palace Cokes. You know, if I ever had to give up Cone Palace Cokes, I'm going to say, Lord, take me now. I'm ready to go. Take me now. But you know what? I will tell you this. Best Coke I've ever had from there will not satisfy like one drink
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah.
Because that Coke will leave me wanting a little more. That flavoring, it leaves me wanting a little more. But I can take and it satisfies.
Yes, amen.
That is as the Spirit. But I will tell you this, that doesn't taste sometimes as good as my vanilla Coke.
Amen.
It doesn't smell as good as my vanilla Coke,
Yes.
but it satisfies. Please hear me.
Amen.
See, we want this exciting spirit that competes with the world. My friends, please know this. God is not going to compete for your attention.
That's right.
He's not going to throw laser shows. He's not going to have smoke and bells and whistles just to get you to follow him. He's plain, satisfying water.
Right.
Oh man, Brother Purvis, you don't make God sound very appealing. Well, let me tell you something. If an individual is dying of thirst, I promise you, if they've got two choices, a drink of water or a drink of soda, they're going to grab for the water every single time.
Yes,
Because they're going to say, if I drink the soda, it's going to taste better, but I'm going to be worse than I am now. But if I can get that drink of water, that can carry me through. And I'm telling somebody now, you can grab your sodas if you want to. You can have them flavored up all you want. But I'm here to tell you, God said, if you'll come drink of His water, it will satisfy. And it won't cost you anything. You'll get it you. It won't take away from you.
Amen.
You know, I would say to you, I would love to have a room full of men that have been unfaithful to their wife or thinking about it. And I would tell you this, that wife may not be as flashy as that neighbor, but I promise you, that wife will serve you better than that neighbor will.
Yes, you will.
And I will do it, you know, it used to be you just had to worry about the men. Today we do live in an equal society. We have to worry about the wives running away with the neighbors just as much as we do the husbands. And I would tell every wife, you consider running away, I want you to know they may not be as flashy, they may not be as muscular, but they're there every day.
Yes,
Amen.
Verse 2, please, and I'm going to get ready to wrap up. Wherefore, do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good. Let your soul delight itself in fatness. Me and my wife last week, I'm sorry, we were driving in the country on our way to Cone Palace. We drove by about 30 head of cattle, and my wife said, honey, look at that cow. That cow had actually stuck its upper body through the barbed wire. It had begun to push down the fence. And you know what was sad? It was trying to get briars and weeds when it had good grass underneath its feet.
Yeah.
That barbed wire had hurt. I don't care how tough that hide is. And they wouldn't put it up there if it wasn't a deterrent. But that cow had already pushed through, pulling the wire just digging into its chest for briars when it had good green grass at its feet. I made a comment. I said, look, honey, look at all the other cows. They're happy. But one cow was trying to reach a carrot, thinking, there's a reason there's a fence there. Saying there's got to be something good on the other side of the fence, or the farmer wouldn't have put it there to keep me out. And I hear that all the time. Well, Pastor, it can't be that bad, or God wouldn't be, we should stay away from it. Well, I'm here to tell you, God put up fences not to keep us from enjoying life,
Yes.
but to save our life. Because see, the thing was, on the other side of the fence, 2 feet, was a county road that is heavily traveled. I told her, I said, if that cow gets out, it's going to get killed. Because people drive down that road 50 and 60 miles an hour. It's out on Alto Road.
Amen.
And I told her, I said, if that cow gets out, it's going to die.
Amen.
That fence wasn't there to keep it from enjoying life. It was put there to let it have a life. My friends, please hear me a minute. When God pricks our heart, when He convicts us, it's never to rob us. Satan only kills, destroys, and robs. God always blesses.
Yes,
He
does.
enhances, and He gives life. Please know that Satan's carrot, you will never reach it and be satisfied.
Yes, amen.
You never will. And you'll think, I'm only this close, but you'll never get there.
Yes,
Please stand with me tonight. May we please bow our head.